Hey, I'm Ida, aka The Natural Tarot, and welcome to my channel. I've noticed that a lot of you want to learn about tarot, but don't know where to start. So I decided, hey, I'm going to start this tutorial on how to deal with tarot. And at first I thought, hey, it'll be really quick. I'll just do this. And then I thought, no, let me start an entire series and just break this down and make it as easy as possible so that you can see how fun and easy and really great tarot is. So let's get started. All right, so where do we start? We start with the traditional writer's deck. Okay? Generally, a writer's deck looks something like this guy here on the front. Although this artist, as you'll see in tarot, chose to put the traditional writer's look on the front, his writer deck doesn't exactly look exactly the same, right? So clearly the artist has different pen strokes, different coloring, etc. But you get the gist. It's very similar. Here is another writer's traditional kind of look-alike. And you can see they're all different, but very much the same, right? You got the guy looking a little free-for-all. You got the dog following him, etc. This is the traditional writer's look. Now, tarot comes in all shapes and sizes. So this is a traditional writer's tarot deck. This is a traditional writer's tarot deck. That's where this card came from here, right? So the packaging may be small, it may be large. They all usually come with a book. This one came with a full-size book. This one also comes with a full-size book. Right here. As you go through, they're going to always have the tarot in order, meaning in by number. They're going to be numbered. In tarot, they start with the number 0. It goes all the way up to 78. Every tarot deck should total 78 cards. Actually, yes, 78 cards in total for all tarot decks. Oracle, other types of decks will have different numbers, but we'll get into that later. But tarot, traditional tarot, 78 cards, right? And they're going to start with 0, which is the Fool's card. And we're going to have his own video, his own tutorial so that you know about the Fool's card. But this is the Fool, the guy that you see depicted on the front of the box, and these two cards here, right? And his number is 0, right here at the top, right here in the corner, depending on the artist where they put it. All right, now, these are traditional writer decks. Like I said, we're going to look at some different types of tarot. When you get into the more modern tarot, you're going to get into themes, different artistry, coloring, everything. Everything is pretty much different. So we said this is the traditional writers. They kind of look the same, right? Now, let's look at some other tarot decks. This one has a romantic theme, right? Here's the artist in his style. This deck's theme is not romantic. It is based off of a haunted house and the adventures of this young lady in the haunted house. You can see the artistry in this deck is very different from what you would find in the traditional. So there's more of a modern look to it. Here are some other ones. This is the King of Cups in another tarot deck. This is the Seven of Wands in yet another tarot deck. All of these artists have beautiful coloring, different, what I call brush strokes and pen strokes, meaning their style is different, their technique is different. They'll be in different sizes, different coloring, etc. But they are all tarot decks, and they all have the basic labeling. Your Fool's card, your King of Wands, your Seven of Wands, your Queen of Cups, and we'll go into all the different members of the deck later on. But that's tarot and different examples of tarot. They also come in different sizes, like I said, just like the traditional. In the new modern styles, you will see all kinds of different sizes, right? Now, when we're dealing with tarot, you'll see I put my decks back neatly and nicely. One of the things that I learned about tarot as we go, and forgive me if I'm kind of freestyling here, because I want it to be as natural and easy as possible, because I don't want you to overthink tarot. I don't want you to think that it's something that's this technical thing that you have to do a different way, or you have to do it this specific way. Everybody does tarot differently, because it is something that comes from within and from without, meaning without the cards and the decks. You didn't create these, but how you read them, how you see them comes from within. So I don't want to get too formal. I don't want to write a big script on how to talk about these things. You'll probably hear me say okay 100 times, because I'm human and I'm nervous like everyone else. But by the time we're done with this series, I want you to understand the basics of these cards and know that that is all you need to know 100%, because everything else is going to be something that comes from within, that is natural. How you're feeling at the moment, what this person is asking, what you read from this person and got from this card, you're not going to get from the person you do next, because it's a totally different situation. Even though it's the same card, you're going to get a different understanding, because it is more about the person you're reading for, yourself, and then the card. Okay? So you're literally just learning the basics of the card. All right. So now we got our deck. You've gone through the process. You went to the store. You decided, hey, or somebody gifted you a deck. You're sitting here with your deck. What's next? Now that you have your deck, let's make sure that you are safe and protected when doing your readings. Now, what do I mean by being safe and protected? No one's going to jump out of these cards and kill you. This is not a movie. Nobody's going to attack you. You're not going to be under spiritual attack, etc. But we are dealing with energies, the spiritual world, and different things like that that we're not necessarily used to. So you want to make sure you're safe, just like if you're going to anything that you didn't know or that you've never experienced before. You want to make sure that you understand the culture, the environment, and keep yourself protected. Now, let's talk about some different ways of how we can keep ourselves safe. I cannot get this chair screwed up. There we go. Of how we can keep ourselves safe, right? Oh, and just so as we go forward, you should know I'm very real. This is who I am. If I can't get my chair to get where I need it to be, I'm not going to edit that out. Now, if I fall out the chair, no, I'm probably not going to edit that out. You'll probably hear me just laughing on the floor, so just get used to it. Okay, so what are some things that we can use to protect ourselves? One of the things I have is simply a white candle. A white candle kind of cleanses the air, the environment, and of course, there's different colors. And before we go forward, no, white does not mean that it's better, or black is worse, or red is this. Every color of candles has a different meaning, and we'll have another video for that, because as you can see, there's so many elements to all of these things that we don't want to get too far into one thing, because we'll be here forever. Okay, so white candle is great for just purifying the air. It's a nice cleanser. Also, something I use, sage. Sage is wonderful. They come in large and small. Right now I have one of my large ones here, and it's just simply white California sage. There's also pineapple sage. There is traditional sage. There's sage that you can get if you live anywhere near a reservation. Native American. I didn't want to say the other term. Native American reservation, and they are selling sage. Get it. It is, to me, the purest you can get. It is grown by people who understand its power, its beauty. It is grown with love. If you can get it there, fine. You also can order it off of Amazon. You can grow your own. Now, if you're growing your own, you want to know how to properly dry it and everything, and we'll, once again, go over that in another video. But this is what it looks like once it has been dried, bundled, and wrapped with string. Basically, it's very simple. It was obviously a plant. It is not going to harm you. Now, there's an ongoing joke in the community. Imagine lighting sage and you pass out and die because you're the evil entity, which is hilarious. Forgive me, I will laugh at my own jokes. I'm trying to hold back my laughter right now. Okay, so, which is hilarious, right? Okay, but let's be real. Some of us have asthma. Some of us have allergies. Some of you have all kinds of things. There are different forms of sage. Now, one that wouldn't help you in that situation, there is sage incense, but that's still letting off smoke. But there's sage incense. There's also sage sprays that can help you, or One was a mister, which is basically a mister, like mist from water. But it's basically just like a sage spray, which is great to clear the environment. Also, what my sage is laying on is a glass ashtray that is older than me, that my grandmother always had in her house when I was growing up. And when she passed away, it was one of the things I wanted because she was a woman who did not smoke, did not do anything, but she was an entertainer. So she always kept things to accommodate guests that might need it. And one of the things she had was this ashtray. The reason why, and it's just a glass ashtray from like the 60s or the 70s, etc. It doesn't have any magical powers outside of the fact that this came from someone I love, and it's now serving a purpose for me. So I keep it around during readings and things like that because it's putting a protective type. It's putting a healing, loving, a reminder of time when with someone who I truly loved. It's putting good energy in the air. So it's great to have around. Now, if you just have a dish or something that you bought, that's fine too. But what I'm saying, it's good to have things around you that remind you of people who love you and care about you, etc. All right. Another form of cleansing your environment is Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a natural wood. It comes from a tree, like all woods, Ida. Oh my God. Okay. So it's a natural wood that is a natural cleanser. It has a wonderful smell. I'm not going to lie. Sage is all right. Sometimes it smells well. Sometimes it's great, but it is a powerful, wonderful plant, right? Now, Palo Santo, I love the smell of it. I just love it, and everybody I know who uses it loves it. So you can also get this in a sage. I have never seen it in spray, but that does not mean you cannot do that. Just look is probably where you will find sage sprays, etc. One of the apothecaries that I like to order from, and I'm sorry, you'll notice I kind of bounce all over the place. If I want to order things like sage sprays and things like that, is Bahati Life. She has a YouTube channel. She has a website. Her name is Bahati Life. Right now, I can't remember how to spell it, but if I can't remember, I'll try to leave it in the description of the video. She is wonderful. I actually have learned a lot from her over the years. She has her own tarot classes too. Oh, another thing you'll find on this channel. I do not compete with people. I encourage people. I want to promote people. And I love to speak on other people in the community doing great things because we're all here together and we want nothing but positive and great energy. All right, so Palo Santo clears the air, wonderful energy. Don't overthink getting things that you need. Now, I just talked about the ashtray from my grandmother. Okay, wonderful. But this I got from Walmart. All I had to do was cleanse it, pray over it, make sure it was, if you believe in prayer, if you believe in whatever you believe in, do whatever it is to do your protection. And then this is your item. It's fine. Don't overthink it. Don't go out and break the bank trying to be a terror. You don't have to do all that. My first writer deck was $14, I believe. I have some that were $50-something, and one I found on sale for $2. That was a lie. $5 at Five and Below, and it was not on sale, but it was one of my favorite decks. It still is one of my favorite decks, and who would have thought I would have found it at Five and Below? Okay, all right. So we'll put that to the side. Now, something else you can have there: crystals. Right here are some examples. I think I just scratched my desk, but whatever. I'm gonna act like that didn't happen. Okay, so they can be small, they can be big. This is an amethyst. This is a purple amethyst. This is a rose quartz, which is my favorite because, as my nieces would say, I'm a little basic because my favorite color is pink, but whatever. I don't care. I love it. So, rose quartz. Do you need these things when you're doing your tarot? No. Do you need the sage and a Palo Santo? No. Like I said, don't overthink it. These are options you can have. These are things I've collected over time. I didn't go out and buy $150,000 worth of things to do tarot or to understand spirituality. It's a gift that you're born with. It's something that's within, that we all have a right to. Do not believe that you have to go broke to do tarot. I think my nail's dirty. Okay, there we go. So here are some examples of crystals. Here's another example Remember I said the thing about my grandmother and how it had the energy of love and peace from somebody who I really cherished, who you all say a prayer for her. She just passed away a few weeks ago, actually. So I just love to have things that remind me of her because she just meant the world to me. And she means the world to me. And I know she's still here with me. All right, so this was something that was given to me by a friend. It is a charm that has a, oh, Lord, I love it though. It has, look, I just went completely blank. Rose quartz. Rose quartz stone. The tree of life is imaged on here. Obviously, I'm not a hand model and I don't do displays because I've dropped this like 15 times already. All right, and it has a 5-point star on the back. And it's in rose gold, which is one of my favorite things. And I use this when I travel with my tarot. And like I said before, in a later video, I'll talk to you about how to travel with your things, especially you don't have to worry about it getting confiscated at the airport or things like that, and having a special protection for it so that you can take this with you if you decide you want to go on long trips and you want to take it with you, you're traveling with business, etc. But this is what I take with me because I don't want to take my different crystals with me. I have some that are even bigger than that. But this one is a crystal. This is a rose quartz. It was given to me in love. It has such positive energy on it. One of my best friends who I adore. So I carry this with me. All right. Another thing you want to have in this process, some way to light your candles, your sage, your Palo Santo, etc. These were like $3 at Walmart. You can get them at the dollar store. I got them. These are more expensive for being $3 because usually you can get them for like $1. I got this one because it was the rose gold collection. And as my niece said, apparently I'm basic. But whatever. I don't care. I love it. It looks good against my skin. So, something to light your items. That actually is the basics of how to cleanse and make sure. Now, let's say, hey, Ida, I don't have any money right now. I can't go out and buy crystals. I don't even have the money to buy a candle. I don't have the money for the sage and the Palo Santo, etc. I just have the money for my deck. I have my deck here. What now? Can I not do tarot because I can't cleanse it? Absolutely freaking not. Okay, look. Remember I said that this is a gift that is from within. This is you and your birthright. You don't need any of this. Nothing. Not even this protective stone I keep around my neck, which I almost forgot about. This is black tourmaline, which is great to have to protect you. But let's say you couldn't afford any of this, or you're not willing to pay this because you're like, I don't even know if I really want to do this. I just want to try it. Okay. Put your hand on your cards and send good intentions. Just think about clearing the positive energy. If you believe in prayer, pray. Because people touch these cards in the production of them. In the factories where they were created, etc., along the way, at Amazon when they were packaged, etc., people have touched these things. Different energies are on here. Just pray on your cards. Put your hands on your cards. Pray over them. Think positive thoughts over them. Speak affirmations over them. If you believe in all of them, do all three. Whatever you can to cleanse the energy, do it. But remember, keep it simple. I always like the KISS system, which I know most people say it one way, but I think that's negative. KISS to me means keep it simple, sexy. All right? Keep it simple, sexy. Just good energy. Think positively. This is your birthright, your gift. You are a spiritual being, and you have the right to express that, and you don't need to go broke doing so. All right? One of the cool things about tarot that I really love is that they partner extremely well with something we call oracle cards. What are oracle cards? They are clarifiers. Like tarot, they come in all different styles, themes, shapes. Here are some. You also can create your own, which may seem a little corny, but in the beginning, or you could have been doing it 20 years. When you start playing with these and you see how cool you can get with your own oracle cards, you're not going to think this is so corny after all. A lot of people end up making their own because they can be more direct. You know how you and your girls talk. You know how you and your bros talk. You know how your family is, and you can word things that fit you in your life and the way you communicate way better than someone you found in the store. So you can make your own that are really cool. And when we go to that video, we will talk about that. Kipper oracles are, I don't know if they were the absolute first ones, but they're one of the oldest, and they're a really cool one. So if you can find these, especially at a good price, grab a Kipper deck. All right. Here's another form of oracle. You see, it is much larger. They come in all shapes and sizes, just like tarot. But we're not going to get deep into that because we're going to do that in another video. So once you get to the point where, hey, I love tarot, I'm learning things, I've learned how to cleanse, I've learned how to do all of these things, then you're going to be on the road to where you're trying to get, whether you're starting your own business, whether you just want to do tarot on the side, or you just want to understand readers that you see. And there's some pretty great ones out here. Some of the ones I listen to is Mystic Beauty, TT, I'm trying to remember her name, Mystic Beauty talks about her all the time, and she's her TT. I actually got a reading from her on my birthday, August 3rd. Please note that it's a national holiday. She is amazing. Bahati Life is wonderful. There's so many out there who I truly love, and I will always mention them in my videos because they can help you in the process of learning. You can go look at them and see, how do they interpret this card? What do they feel about it? How are they cleansing their area? Pay attention to these things. Also, if any of you want a personal reading, feel free to contact me. You can go visit my website at thenaturaltarot.com. You can message me directly at ida@thenaturaltarot.com. Especially visit if you're looking for counseling. I think I forgot to mention, I am a tarot reader, intuitive. I am also a counselor who deals with personal counseling, spiritual counseling, and business counseling. I have over 20 years, and it's something I love to do. Communication is a passion of mine, and I would love to help you in the process of starting your own spiritual practice, starting your own spiritual journey, or just, figuring out who you are and where you are in life. But either way, feel free to come visit me over at The Natural Tarot, or you can message me directly at ida@thenaturaltarot.com, and either myself or one of my assistants will help you get booked and scheduled so that we can help you start this life journey. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. I look forward to this process of going deeper into oracle and tarot and your spiritual journey and practices. And I'm looking forward to seeing you later. All right. Have a wonderful day.